He pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died.
No money like church money. He was doing all the things to try to get his image straightened up.
This was a shock to many in the religious community. Bishop T.D. Jakes has been a spiritual advisor to presidents and a religious voice to thousands.
It's hard to put in perspective unless he's involving himself what is actually going on at the parties.
Dallas Bishop T.D. Jakes has officially stepped down as the leader of the Potter's House megachurch amid growing controversy. His resignation comes just 2 weeks before Diddy's highly anticipated trial, which has sparked a frenzy among celebrities, allegedly tied to his notorious FreakOFF parties. Reports suggest Diddy may have enlisted Jakes to help rehabilitate his public image, with alleged footage placing the bishop at several of these events. Now, Jakes faces a lawsuit from Pastor Youngbloodud, accusing him of sexual abuse, escalating an already volatile situation. Sources say Jakes is well aware that his time in the spotlight may be coming to an end.
It's a shock to many in the religious community. Bishop T.D. Jakes has been a spiritual advisor to presidents and a religious voice to thousands. Now he says it's time to pass the baton to a new generation.
This is a beautiful moment for me.
From the pulpit Sunday, Bishop T.D. Jakes announced that he was stepping down from leadership at the Potter's House, the Dallas megachurch he founded in 1996 and has led ever since.
I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and you be sheep without a shepherd.
This is video from the service Jakes is referencing in November. It wasn't until months after his medical incident that he confirmed to the public he had a heart attack. Now, 5 months later, he told his congregation he had been preparing his daughter, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, and his son-in-law, Pastor Touré Roberts.
From the pulpit on Sunday, Bishop T.D. Jakes announced that he is stepping down from leadership at the Potter's House, the Dallas megachurch he founded in 1996 and has led ever since.
Williams calls out Bishop T.D. Jakes and watches T.D. Jakes and Gino Jennings' response.
I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, T.D. Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Good. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good because I know the truth.
Renowned Dallas pastor T.D. Jakes is named in a federal lawsuit against musician Sean Diddy Combs.
It's filed by a producer that worked with Combs. It discusses how the singer planned to leverage his relationship with the bishop to soften the impact on his public image of Casey Ventura's lawsuit. Ventura is a former girlfriend of Combs who filed her own lawsuit in November alleging abuse, violence, and sex trafficking.
Could this federal investigation have come out of these private lawsuits?
Oh, absolutely. If it involves sex trafficking or drugs or weapons or other illegal behavior.
Lori Levinson is a former federal prosecutor.
They've decided this is worth a lot of resources across the country. So once they've done these searches, they have evidence to follow up on. And if they've got it, they'll move on.
This footage is from the November service that Bishop T.D. Jakes referenced. It wasn't until months after his medical scare that he publicly confirmed he had suffered a heart attack. Now, 5 months later, he revealed to his congregation that he has been preparing his daughter, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, and his son-in-law, Pastor Touré Roberts, to take over leadership. Meanwhile, fans are beginning to uncover deeper layers of T.D. Jakes' alleged ties to Diddy, And the more that surfaces, the more shocking it becomes. Jakes was first linked to Diddy after former producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a lawsuit against Sean Combs in 2024. In the suit, Lil Rod claimed that Diddy intended to use his relationship with Jakes to soften the blow to his public image following Cassie's lawsuit. In return for financial compensation, Jakes was allegedly willing to use his influence to support Diddy.
So taking him back to her home, he says, come on in, let's talk. You can't even imagine being 18, 19 years of age. This person is killing it, and they're saying to you, come on in, let's talk. And so I did. I went in. We sat down at a very long dining room table in a room that she had. And for 2 hours, it was unbelievable. Pouring of heart, crying, him talking about my father. We talking about these scenarios. And I inwardly just knew I had finally found someone who could get it. Someone who understood. I'm sitting at this table, and for the first time talking to any man, I got tears coming down my face because somebody gets me. Somebody understood what I was going through. Well, after sitting there and having this long discourse with him, I finally look at my watch and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to get this car back to my mother. She's going to kill me. So I said to Bishop, I got to get up. And I got up from the table. He got up from the table. He walked around toward the way I had to exit quicker than I got over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. I could not. I tell you, to this day, I can't remember how I got out of.
November 25th, Bishop T.D. Jakes filed a defamation lawsuit against fellow pastor Dwayne Youngblood. Pastor Youngblood had publicly accused Jakes of attempting to sexually assault him when he was just 18 years old, even alleging that one of the incidents took place during a church service. Youngblood claimed to have witnesses and phone records to support his story, and the details he shared were deeply disturbing.
A lot of guns. And he said that the environment around Diddy
is Richard Brandon Coleman. He is the ex-husband of T.D. Jakes' oldest daughter, Cora Jakes Coleman. Richard has been arrested on May 4th, 2022 for the continuous molestation and sexual abuse of a child or children. It is being reported by family members that the child that he was abusing is their now 13-year-old adopted daughter, Amari.
Get right into it, man. How you feel about these rumors surrounding, Diddy and T.D. Jakes?
Man, what I think about it is this, when I grew up in the church, the sinners was not supposed to have the same atmosphere with the saints. You have to be able to separate the two. So I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin, drinking, maybe fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. But maybe he there to lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he there to save some souls. I know he got a contract with Revolt, so I'm just like, it's just real strange that he would be found at any kind of Diddy party or any kind of place with Diddy unless it's in a business atmosphere. So now what he's doing is he's making the Christians look real bad right about.
The behavior Pastor Youngblood is alleging is reportedly supported by testimonies from individuals close to Diddy. According to these accounts, Bishop T.D. Jakes was a regular attendee at Diddy's infamous FreakOFF parties, an environment many find incompatible with the role of a spiritual leader. To make matters worse, several members of Jakes' own congregation from the day in question are allegedly prepared to testify on behalf of Pastor Youngblood. They claim Jakes' behavior during that service was unusual and unsettling, suggesting they sensed something was seriously wrong.
He's going to the Diddy parties,
Multi-billion-dollar empire, and Bishop T.D. Jakes knows. The fallout from his legal troubles could be devastating. In a strategic move, he's handed over the reins to safeguard the church's operations and financial interests. For Jakes, 2024 was a turbulent year. First, his former in-law was arrested on charges of child molestation, and now he himself faces a sexual assault lawsuit. The pressure is mounting, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
The legal team is getting a little smaller as the rap mogul's defense team prepares for his May trial on sex trafficking charges. His attorney, Anthony Rico, respectfully but regrettably requested to be dismissed from his role, according to documents obtained by NBC News. Rico, who is one of 6 attorneys on the case, requested in the February 21st filing to withdraw as representation because, quote, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the ABA standards for criminal justice. The motion continues, quote, while I'm aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted only upon a showing by affidavit or otherwise of satisfactory reasons for withdrawal, there are sufficient reasons related to the protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for withdrawal as counsel in this case.
So the high-powered law firm of Grubman, Shire, Masalis, and Sachs has dropped Combs as a client. Now, this is the firm of Alan Grubman, who is a very prominent entertainment lawyer that represents some very big names. The Weeknd, Madonna, Chris Brown, Paul Simon, Usher, Bruce Springsteen. In fact, by the way, Alan Grubman was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He actually helped found that back in the 1980s. So, gives you an idea about how big of a powerhouse this firm is. Now let's go back to Sean Combs. So the rumor circulating is that this firm did this because singer and actress Lady Gaga had threatened to leave the firm unless they parted ways with Combs. This is according to reporting by News Nation. And it's a big deal because the rapper and producer had apparently been with Grubman's firm for over 20 years. He was friends with Alan Grubman.
Attacked on cross-examination. Their character will be impugned. They will attack the victims for not coming forward until Cassie Ventura came forward. How do you fix that? You find an outcry witness. What is an outcry witness? An outcry witness is someone the victim told about their at the time. So 10 years ago, I told you Sean Combs raped me at this party. I told you that then, but I never made a police report. That adds credibility to the victim's statement. So a lot of victims are going to be attacked because they continued in a seemingly friendly relationship with Combs. A lot of women do that. Your boss makes advances on you unwanted. What do? Quit and starve? There's a lot of reasons women maintain a relationship with the rapist. So we may lose credibility on a couple of witnesses, but the sheer number of them, I find it hard to believe that a jury will choose to disbelieve all of these ladies and choose to believe Sean Combs.
So it looks like they're going to try and say that Diddy's mental capacity could not make it possible for him to commit these crimes, claiming that maybe drugs or alcohol could have been at fault. Apparently, a couple of weeks ago, the prosecution offered Diddy a plea deal, which he turned down. We don't know the details of what that plea deal entailed, but he said he's not taking it. This is coming after they've added additional charges, like the second superseding indictment. You know that Cassie video where you see Diddy dragging her in a hotel from 2016? The judge says that it can be included after Diddy's defense team had been trying to have it not included. So according to People magazine, they said prosecutors recently filed a motion disputing any testimony that might show that Sean Diddy Combs didn't have, quote, the mental capacity to commit the crimes he's accused of because of the effects of drugs or alcohol. The motion filed on April 27th references apparent testimony from a psychiatrist on behalf of the defense and asked the judge to prevent his testimony.
You can't, I really don't know why, as a spiritual advisor to him, that they buddy while he got a party with him like that and be at his parties. It's got to be, maybe it's something more that meets the eye. You know, I don't know. You know, I've had, I've talked to preachers and I've talked to reverends and priests, but they ain't never came to a party with me or nothing like that. So it's hard to figure that one out, bruh, without even saying, you know, what people might be thinking. But I heard that there's supposed to be some tapes or something that's coming out real soon. And I guess we'll all really know the truth if anything's on those tapes.